The Pennsylvania Game Commission has just explained the new Sunday hunting changes. What this means and what they're actually saying are two different things. So I've pulled the podcast and we'll break this down so you know what to expect for the upcoming hunting season.
Hunting. I mean, when you talk about something that's very positive for sportsmen, Sunday hunting's at the top of the list.
I'm glad you brought it up. It's almost hard to believe that here we are, finally in a position where the board approved a full slate of Sunday hunting opportunities for our licensed buyers for the upcoming year. I mean, how incredible is that? That's something that has been talked about, dreamt about for decades, and now here we are. Of course, we had Sunday hunting enacted on a limited basis last year, proved to be, I thought, incredibly successful. Really happy that we didn't have a single incident of a hunting-related shooting incident involving a member of the public. And of course, that had been always a topic of concern. So rolled it out for 13 Sundays last year. Didn't see any of that impact, any of those concerns that we were worried about. So with that gave us the comfort level to recommend it to our board for full Sunday hunting inclusion for the upcoming license year, and that's where we're at.
So do I understand that they were worried about Sunday hunting because they thought that people were going to start getting shot in the woods? No worry about that Monday through Saturday, but Sunday was going to increase the amount of people that were getting shot. So you didn't trust the people that were going to come out to hunt on Sunday? Like, I don't know. That kind of don't make any sense to me.
Right, and a lot of the seasons that, I mean, I'll just take firearms deer season. Instead of ending on a Saturday this year, it's another day of opportunity. It ends on Sunday this year, and a lot of those Sundays are the ending dates for a lot of the seasons. So, we encourage everybody to, when the digest is out there or on the website, to take a look to see how the Sundays have affected your favorite seasons to get out there for sure.
And
Tell you what, end it on Sunday, give me the Sunday hunting, but let's go back to a Monday opener. I'll give up the 2 days, Saturday and Sunday, to start on Monday, because I'll gain it in Sundays back anyway. So let's make everybody happy. Let's go back all Sunday hunting. Great, cool, perfect. But let's go back to the Monday opener. But Game Commission obviously don't want to listen to what anybody says, or else they would do that. Because again, the majority want Monday openers. Changed my mind.
that's a great point, and we did exactly what you said, just for simplicity, to make it easy to follow and understand. Instead of closing most of those seasons on a Saturday where they traditionally have been, we've extended it through to the Sunday. So in doing that, it just creates a lot more opportunities for our hunters.
Now, when they say a full slate, they don't obviously mean a full slate. They mean a full slate to the big game seasons that bring in the money. If you're a waterfowl hunter, sorry, you're still not hunting on Sundays. Check it out.
It does. And you know, there's some caveats to that, like waterfowl and or migratory bird season. I mean, we do have a caveat where this year where the board made a hard decision because we had survey results and we're going to keep our framework as it is and exclude Sundays for this year's waterfowl season.
Yeah, and I'm glad you brought that up because that is, of course, the one exception. And a couple factors really went into that decision. First, the board looked at some survey data that had been done.
They looked at some survey data that had been done. By survey data, they mean they looked at license sales, realized that they're not selling that many migratory stamps, and that it's not going to really change license sales one way or the other. So let's just keep it the way it is. We don't have a big group of people crying, we need to change this, we need to change that, because, you know, just not that many people hunt ducks. So that's what it all comes down to. Every single bit of it, every rule, every regulation, is driven by the big organizations.
And it showed a slight preference to keeping Sundays where Sunday hunting wasn't taking place for migratory birds. Slight preference. One of the factors that really drove that, though, was an understanding that if that were to change and Sunday hunting were to be allowed for migratory birds, once that decision is made, there's no going back. So it's unlike any other season where our board constantly would have the ability to adjust the season dates based on data and how hunters feel about it. With migratory birds, once that decision is made, there is no opportunity to adjust that. So given that, the board decided to maintain the traditional structure, which doesn't include Sundays. The way that season is structured, I think it's important to note that the absence of Sundays doesn't decrease the amount of days to participate. It's the same amount of days. It's just a question of whether or not Sundays are there. And for this upcoming year, Sundays will not be. However, I think the board made it clear that they wanted to keep getting input from hunters to see if they would prefer Sundays or not for that particular season.
Yeah, and to reiterate, that framework is set by the feds. It's not. I mean, we have to abide by that 60-day policy where we have to fit our season, key our season into that, and that's where that's we're going to continue to look at that. I mean, who knows what the future is, but when you look at long range, goals and expectations, what you said is 100% facts. Once that happens, we're never going to be able to walk it back. So, I mean, that's the decision that was made on Saturday, and like we talked about, the survey results showed the positives in keeping Sunday out of waterfowl seasons, and or migratory bird. They get mad at us all the time because I say, but just a reminder though, in migratory birds, it also counts, for obviously waterfowl, woodcock, and mourning doves. There will be no Sunday hunting this year.
That's right. And
so they basically just said it without saying it. They tried to use it under the cover of the migratory bird stamp. I don't know why I can't say it. If they go to Sundays, they can't ever go back. What that really means is if we, as the Game Commission, make a decision, we're never going back.
That being the case, and I spoke to actually one hunter just recently who was disappointed that Sundays aren't included for waterfowl, but what he was happy about is that he knows the topic will come up again next year. He knows it's not something that's set in law anymore like it used to be. And in fact, our board could change that next year, and he knows that. So there was an appreciation of, even if it didn't happen for this year, at least next year there will be another opportunity. And that's what's new now that the law has been changed and now that our board can regulate Sunday hunting.
Yeah, and one thing to just bounce on top of that too is, and thoroughly we want public comment. We want you
Absolutely.
to, you can get on our website to leave a comment for the board, and same thing with public comment prior to the board meetings. Prior to the on Saturday morning, we had 15, 16 people come in, and we're all in this together.
So you got Sunday hunting. Sunday hunting is always going to be a thing from now on. You have no more Monday opener. We're never going to go back to the Monday opener. So it's going to be the Game Commission that says, yep, this is what we're going to do. But if you don't like it, go ahead, voice your concerns, your opinions, your thoughts, and it'll just go in one ear, out the other. And we'll do what we want to do anyway, because, timber companies, insurance companies, and all those other big corporations, they're paying the money to make the decisions happen. Lobbying at its finest, right?
You can just see it in the room that everybody's trying to work together. And I think for conservation as a whole, it's important. We're all on the same team and trying to do the same thing. So we want to hear from folks out there for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. That was a great point. And that comment that we heard on Saturday, as well as what we received through emails, you could see that the impact it was having and how the board was taking it into consideration when trying to set these seasons.
And just for the public out there that's viewing, a lot of people leave their comments on social media. I mean, obviously we get a lot of comments on Facebook and Instagram. Those comments don't go to the board. You have to go to our website, and there's a very simple way to click and to leave a comment. And if you want the board to hear you, please do that, because those comments come in every day and they go in front of the board all the time. They're not going to read our social media pages.
Yeah, there's an established process. We want to get that input, but it has to be through that right. process. So that's the mechanism that we've set up in place. And again, the board clearly was taking it into consideration.
So what do you guys think? You on board with the Sunday hunting regulations? Looks like we will have complete and open hunting on Sundays from here on out. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think. If you haven't done so, please hit that like and subscribe button. And we are on our way to 2,000 subscribers. So help us out, see how fast we can get there. Thank you guys for watching. Have a nice night.